So she just posted a video probably about an hour ago. Misinformation about me. I haven't even watched it yet, so let's watch it together, do some commentary, and see what we are misunderstanding about her. Oops.
To my sleigh!
Well, hello! Hi, guys! Welcome back to another video in the middle of nowhere in my car. So today's topic is going to be something that...
Do you guys notice she pointed out in my car in the middle of nowhere in her last video as well? Why does she keep pointing that out?
Is very popular in my corner, and there's a lot of misinformation.
Here
so
we go.
That's the only reason I'm addressing this. So the thing I want to address today, I want to show you my agenda first, actually. Today's planner. I don't really like the outside. I got it from Amazon, and I'm telling you guys, I am going to miss so bad Amazon if I ever go back to Kuwait. Because Amazon...
Now you heard that, right? I'm really going to miss Amazon if I go back to Kuwait. If, just remember this.
Oh, I have a shopping... See, maybe I shouldn't live here because, listen, I've just already spent so much on Amazon, like things that I need for myself. Not frivolous things. I had like $150 worth of makeup in my cart, and I was like, put all that stuff back because you don't need it. Like, I have enough makeup, and, you know, I have some financial goals that if I...
Good for you for emptying out that Amazon cart, because that's not always easy to do, right? Amazon's really convenient. Comes right to your door. You can go wild on there.
Just frivolously spend. It's not part of the plan, right? So, I mean, I have no business doing that right now. So, I put everything back. But I did need a planner because my life is unorganized and it's actually more detrimental. So, this is actually a pretty good planner. It was pretty cheap. I don't remember right now the price, but I'll put it somewhere. It was for planner standards. There were planners that were very expensive. So here it has, I like how it has the calendar at a glance for like the whole week. And then you have each day, you have here. And I do this, you know, the evening in the evenings to relax.
I don't know. I don't find doing my planner relaxing. But anyway, I'm definitely happy she's got a planner. Happy she's trying to organize things. I have three. I have one that's my Google Calendar. I have a daily written one, and then I have a notebook where I write even more details about what I got to do in the day. So I'm one of those like overly organized people. So I'm all for the planner. Maybe she'll get shit done. Maybe she'll achieve something. We'll see.
And I really love doing it. So it tells you the weather. You know, today it would be rainy. Your priorities, your to-do list, things to get done, money in, money out, so you can keep track of what you spent in the day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, exercise notes, and then hour by hour your day, and up until 12 a.m. And I've been going to bed at 10:30.
Good.
Not much later than that, and
Good.
Sometimes earlier.
Good.
Because I'm just, you know, on that kind of routine right now. And so I just want to put this shameless plug in here.
Of course.
Not only just to promote the product, like, for no reason. I actually want to tell you about a benefit I've been having from the Unimate so far. I have not been napping still. I, you know, have the energy to go out throughout the day without sleeping. I used to be at a point where, you know, even Salah, like I said, would notice like how much I sleep a lot and need to take naps. And now I just get up in the morning, early enough in the morning, usually around...
This is all great to hear and everything, but what it could possibly be as well is that you just got back to Canada. You haven't been there in over, a year. You are excited. You're elevated. You're going at warp speed, right? You got things to get done. You're excited. It's kind of like when you first get married. You all Google. They say the honeymoon phase or whatever. That's what you're at. You're at that honeymoon phase of Canada right now.
It's been around 8 a.m., I'd say, the median. But I don't need to nap during the day. And for me, that's pretty amazing. So I have energy throughout the day because I drink this in the morning and it really just energizes me. So I just wanted to let you know that that's also part of the reason why I've been, you know, just having a normal sleep pattern for a change. I definitely think it's part of the reason because it makes sense since I've been drinking it. It's been this way for me. So yeah, that's a plus. I'm being very productive during the days and it feels good because I'm actually like taking off things. Actually, I got to take something off right now. I got to swap laundry and okay. I got to swap some things. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that later. Um oh, wait. Tomorrow I got to do some Christmas shopping.
I thought you weren't celebrating Christmas. I thought it was haram.
Okay, tomorrow I gotta do Christmas shopping. What else do I have to do? And by the way, I know my face shape is weird in this hijab under cap, but let's see if I can do this. Oh. Hello, friend. I look like I'm coming out of a birth canal. What the heck? Never mind. All right. Okay, I want to talk about me being kicked out of Kuwait or not being able to go back.
This is my theory. I really do think that was part of it.
Because of health issues. And, you're going to react to me, whatever, but it's the theories that are not true at all that just like, because it's annoying for me because then you have people coming to my channel. Did you really get kicked out of Kuwait? I know that all of you wish the absolute worst for me. That's why you try to find some.
None of us are wishing the absolute worst for. Okay, maybe some people are, but I definitely am not. I'm wishing you well. I hope you do go in the right direction someday. But the reality is that is a viable speculation. Okay, because they actually do that in Kuwait. Okay, if you're not a citizen and you're obese, they won't blink an eye at having you leave to deal with your medical issues. I can understand that, right? Because if you're not a citizen of that country, who are you to take advantage of their health care? I don't blame them one bit. I think it's a smart thing to do. She's a Canadian citizen. She should go over there and get her stuff dealt with. I get it. It's very possible. Like she kind of like treats it like it's like, oh, that could never happen. You guys are out of your mind and delusional. No, Chantal, you're delusional. It could happen. It could have happened. Nobody's saying it was the entire reason you left, but I'm sure that a portion of it had to do with that. Okay, you were going to visit doctors. It's possible, right? The visa renewal, doctor's appointments. This is all kind of lining up. That's why people are speculating this.
Something in everything I do that points to the fact that I'm doing bad because I don't share things as openly anymore. Okay, if
Chantal, it's not about you sharing things openly. You've always been a sharer, and I still think you share. You think you don't, but you do. You're full of lies. I mean, this is the problem. It's not a matter of your sharing. It's a matter of what you're sharing. Is it true? Is it valid? That's why everybody questions everything you say or do, because it doesn't mean just because you spilled the beans that you mean it's truthful beans. It could be just that you're making a BS like you normally do.
I suffered through everything that people accused me of, like with all the theories being true, I would be the most.
How about your members who suffer through the verbal bashing and beatings they've taken multiple times on your live streams and in your posts on Instagram and YouTube and I don't know what? Should we bring all those things back into the light? You are a very abusive, mean person. You treat your YouTube members like trash. I know you don't like the rest of us that come into the open chat that give you the truth bombs, but you mistreat people. You are very mean. You are malicious. And you've done some awful things. So I don't know what you're surviving. Uh, because what you've dished out has been far worse for some people. You've doxed people. I mean, you've done some terrible things. You got to own up to that shit. Okay, people are getting sick and tired of you just, running circles. Just own it.
The unluckiest person in the universe. So anyway, um, I am not kicked out of Kuwait because of my health. There are so many diabetic people in Kuwait. You can be an expat with health issues in Kuwait. You may have to pay for some things. Expat healthcare is you pay a certain amount a year and then you get access to public healthcare for very, very cheap or almost free, depending what you need. Also, you can pay for private healthcare. Actually, private healthcare is a lot more popular than public in Kuwait. And most of the time, except for, no. Yeah, I think once only I needed public healthcare and I had to have nebulizer treatment and it was pretty cheap. It was like $10 for the visit and everything. But, why did I say that so like, but the other times I've needed healthcare in Kuwait, we've paid for it privately. So how can it be a burden on a system that I pay for privately most of the time? And that we pay for in advance for the year? You know? I've never been told that I require private health care. If I did need it, I would buy a private health care insurance. And the fact that people think I'm way too unhealthy to get insurance, probably for a lot of companies, yeah. But there are companies who, are very competitive and they offer no medical check required kind of health insurance. And there's a lot of expat health insurance. I actually might or might not have one. You don't know. The thing is that these people just speculate and they're wrong, but they make it sound like it's a sure thing.
Well, a lot of us speculate because you don't ever really tell the truth. So we kind of have to play this dodgeball game of like figuring out, is it a hit or a miss? Are we on it? Are we accurate? Are we not? And we're just piecing together puzzle pieces because nothing you say can ever be like 100% true. Like there's certain YouTubers you watch that you're like you don't even question it. Like they're being truthful. If you watch Chantal and all you do is like question it because there's never any consistency in her truth. She's just very much somebody who likes to lie a lot.
They're right, like 100% they know. As if they have a GoPro and they're following my life around in my house, etc. The fact that people don't know anything and it's making them go crazy with theories and conspiracy that interfere with my life a bit because people take these words as truth.
See, Chantal, the reality of the situation, and a lot of us can simply do Google research and figure this stuff out. In Kuwait, if you were to get some type of private insurance or whatever it is that you're talking about, even in the United States, if you get like some type of additional insurance, it's expensive. Okay? So let's say that was the fact. You're in Kuwait, you're able to get an insurance, you're paying a wazoo in premium. That doesn't mean that you're going to still qualify for the surgery in Kuwait. It doesn't mean that you're going to not follow the process and give up at some time. That does happen to a lot of people. That doesn't mean that. And you were sitting in Kuwait going, oh, should I get this additional insurance or this or that? Which I don't really believe. I believe that she was having visa issues and the doctors were on her about her obesity and it may have been a issue when it came to updating her visa, that this was something she needed to address first before she could look to have any type of extended visa stay. um, she sat there and said to herself, like, I'm a Canadian citizen, I might as well use the healthcare system that they have. She wanted to go back to Canada because it would be free, of course. So there's a lot of things to factor into this. And the reason why people are speculating is because she never really tells us the truth. I mean, she puts herself in a position that people have to speculate, and that's a problem. If she doesn't want people speculating, just tell the truth.
And then they think I'm the liar, you know?
You are a
And it's like, it's
liar.
my life. I'm living it. I think I should know.
Just because it's your life doesn't give you a warrant to lie. Okay? It's not like there's some pass. Like, okay, it's my life. I can lie or tell the truth. If you're going to lie, then assume people are going to speculate. I mean, I don't know why this is so complicated for you, Chantal. If you're lying, people know you're lying. You know when somebody's lying. You know. Either things don't line up, or you're feeling that vibe that it's just not working, that the person is lying about. You can feel it. You know.
Know. You don't know anything about Kuwait other than what you Google and read a few articles on. And it's not so black and white, by the way, those policies, okay? We don't have any debts to Kuwait. So if you have a debt to Kuwait, yeah, they might not extend your residence if you have debts to owe. But we've never have, and we never will, hopefully, inshallah. Debt is not really that easy to acquire in Kuwait, actually. It's not like here, you know? So I see a lot of, I've been kicked out of Kuwait. I got myself kicked out of Kuwait. No, I mean, the only thing that happened, and there's no tea here, all right, or the tea is cold as ice, but I left on my own accord, all right.
I'm sure you did. I don't think anybody wants to be formally kicked out of a country, okay? I'm sure that at some point, again, I'm speculating because, Chantal could never give us the straight truth. Um, what likely happened is when she kept going to these appointments, and there was probably certain markers that trigger. They obviously know, the doctor knows that she's not a citizen. That's pretty obvious. He possibly would have to report these things in because it goes in with the consideration for the visa renewals. I don't know. I don't know enough. I haven't done any research, but I'm speculating. There has to be maybe some type of connection between the two, which again would make total sense to me. If you're living in a country as a citizen and then somebody comes in and uses up your health care and is not a citizen, is not paying taxes in the system, why would you allow them to use the healthcare system? I get it. What she has is obesity. It's something that she could control, that she could get a handle on. She could lose the weight and resolve a lot of her health issues. So it's not like she had a medical emergency there and they want to treat her. No, that's not the case. This particular situation is she has an ongoing and chronic overweight issue that she has yet to address properly. And I'm sure that the doctors in Kuwait are fully aware of it. They probably see it time and time again. But considering the fact that she is not a citizen and she's there on a visa, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some type of a reporting that's done where the system tracks these people on the visa, especially if they're a liability on the country. Someone obese like this is a liability. It's a cost, okay? Every time she goes into one of their facilities to utilize healthcare, she's using up resources. Now, one would argue, well, she went to a private clinic, so it shouldn't matter. Yeah, probably not. But Chantal realistically knows she cannot afford that on a long term basis. For her to have that type of health care and fork out that kind of money at every appointment, what was it, like $200 up to that amount? That's a lot of money. And she has a lot of health issues. So, and even if she was to do the weight loss surgery in Kuwait, again, she would be forking out a shit ton of money, right? To get through that process over there. So, why not go back to Canada?
I decided one day I need to go visit my family. I'm going to try for the weight loss surgery because I'm so impulsive. I was really inspired by some videos I was watching and talking to some people who've had the surgery. And even though I just don't fully agree with it, and I don't mean that to offense to anybody who's had it, it's just my opinion. I'm entitled to it without offending people. I mean, okay, I can't determine if you're offended. If you are, I'm sorry, that's not my intention. 100%, I'm being sincere with that. If it worked for you, that's awesome, and that's what I hope. But there's also a dark side to it. It's not a perfect thing. It's very dangerous. I have a lot of problems that I'm afraid of surgery.
If you were so afraid to go under the knife to have weight loss surgery, you would have gotten serious about your eating. Don't bullshit us, Chantal. We know you. Your love and the one thing that controls you in life is food. You don't want to change. You like being a mess, being thin, being healthy. That would be hard for you. See, you have all these ailments, mental issues that you can toss blame to. Oh, it's because I have binge eating disorder. Oh, it's because I'm depressed. Oh, it's because I have bipolar. Oh, it's because I have this. You can toss the blame in every other direction, but where you're not tossing the blame is onto yourself. If somebody is that frightened to have surgery, and look, I get it, I say it all the time. This surgery is major surgery. It should not be taken lightly, and it is not for everybody. It takes a level of commitment and consistency. Chantal, nobody's perfect after this surgery. I screw up all the time. But the difference is that I weigh myself every day. I catch myself when I start gaining weight, and I do my best to address it. It's very easy to put on weight. And even if you have surgery, you can be at a very high risk of putting that weight back on. I am in a group where all of us have had the surgery in the same month and same year. And I can tell you right now, there are people out there who did not succeed, but the reason they didn't succeed is because they weren't fully committed. They weren't eating the right foods. They weren't following the instructions that were given to them. And they fucked it all up. It's on them. Now, there is a very small percentage of people who have irreversible health issues that happen after the surgery. There are a few of them in my group too. There are risks with anything you do in life. But where you get in life where you decide to take that risk is when you go, the risk will outweigh the benefits. It's worth me taking the risk to reap those benefits. And that's where I was at, because I couldn't do it without the surgery. I knew that. And I was ready to make a massive change in my life. And it was a massive change. I mean, my life will never be the same again. My relationship with food is entirely different. But you have to be committed, you have to be consistent, and you have to be able to follow the instructions of the doctor and not lie to the doctors. Okay? Like when I go into my appointment, I still go for checkups. When I go in, it's like once a year. They'll ask like, so what have you been drinking, eating stuff? And I'll be like, oh, I have like a soda a day or 2 sodas a day, a can of soda, which you should not have, okay? I sip it, slowly. I try to let the bubbles fizzle out and all that stuff because it is irritating. Oh, I had tons of candy during Halloween. I did. I put on weight. Halloween till now. I can't believe it. Right now, I can't believe it because I did it to myself. Because I ate too much candy. I told the doctor that. Look, I mean, I can't sit there and look at the doctor and feel like, I have no idea why I put on 15 pounds. I have no idea why I put on 30 pounds. Like, you can't think doctors are that stupid. I mean, my husband tells me all the time. He hears the same thing over and over again every day. Like, it's these doctors hear it constantly. They've heard everything. You can't possibly tell them something they haven't heard. Okay? But it's going to be life-changing.
I know people who've gained the weight back.
They gain it back because they didn't eat right. I remember there was this one guy. He's in my group. And it was like, I don't know, like 2 weeks or a week even after surgery. And the guy was downing steaks and like candy bars. And I mean, we were all of us in the group were like, no, we were just I sending him private messages trying to help him. Like, we just could not believe this guy. He's like, oh, this surgery didn't work for me, I was still, and we were like, what are you doing? Like, are you crazy? Like, like, we just all went through this major surgery, and here you are jeopardizing everything that you've done. And what did the guy do? He expanded his stomach right back to the same size. I mean, years later, he's right back even worse where he was before. It does happen, but that's your fault. You did that to yourself. Nobody else did it to you. You don't have to have that outcome. Shit like this pisses me off because you don't have to have that outcome. You don't have to be that one who, eats everything they're not supposed to eat right after surgery, ends up tearing their stomach or having complications after the surgery. You did it. You did something wrong. And these are the consequences. You shouldn't have done it. But she won't do that. She won't tell you the reason why these people gain weight. She won't tell you that. And I'm not saying like every person is the same situation, but I'm talking about the majority of people who fall into this bucket. They did it to themselves. They may not have dealt with the mental issues. They may not have dealt with everything they had to deal with. Like, look, it happens. But you don't have to be that statistic. You could be one of the successful people. Do you know how good it feels all these few years later when I go into the doctor's office and they talk to me and they're like, you are the perfect candidate and the perfect patient because you admit when you're wrong. You try to fix and make things right. Like, I don't have any health issues. All my health complications went away. I don't have the sleep apnea anymore. I don't have the high A1C anymore. I don't have the type 2 diabetes anymore. I don't have the fat-induced asthma I had anymore. My arthritis is so much better than when it was when I was heavy. My joints are so much better since I got thin. I mean, you can change so much about yourself. And every time I think about all those things that became better after surgery and where I'm at now, it makes it that much more important that I never go back to that place again. Never forget where you came from.
No, or died from complications, or lose all their hair, have vitamin deficiency.
You can get hit by a car tomorrow and die. You can cross the street tomorrow and die. You can die at any moment. That's not an excuse. Surgery, no matter what type of surgery you have, I mean, there are people who have plastic surgery and die. Okay? It's a risk, but you have to see, is it worth it? Where am I at? Am I going to die in the next few years? Or can I change this? Can I turn this around? You're at a point where you can turn it around. But if you get any heavier and have any more medical issues, it's going to be harder and harder for you to qualify for this surgery. That's why I addressed mine early on. Because I knew if I got out of control, it was going to be much harder to qualify and to reverse that. You can do it if you want to. But you have to say, is this risk worth it? And once it becomes worth it to you, you'll have no problem moving forward.
Things like that. So but I know I can't stay this way because it's even worse, for health reasons. But that's why I came here, and I'm hitting brick walls. I'm being told I need to have a doctor follow me through this process, and it's like a long wait.
Yes, just like I said in previous videos, you're going to have to go through an actual program. You're going to have different specialists. You're going to have a main doctor you deal with for the program. All the specialists will collaborate with the doctor. They'll all work together to make sure that you're a prime candidate at the time that you're going to have surgery. But it's going to take you putting the work into it to make that happen. And you're going to have patience. And we know Chantal, she has no patience. And this is why a lot of times she fails.
I don't want to not see my husband for 4 years. And
who cares about your fake husband? Your health is number one. And if he's really your husband and you really love him like you say you do, you would want to be healthy for the future with your husband. Like right now in my life, I feel healthy. And that gives my husband hope that we will have a long future together. I didn't just do this for me, I did it for my family as well because they want me around. They love me. And your family loves you and they want you to live a long and healthy life, but you have to change.
I don't want to travel a lot because it's hard on me. So to go back and forth to visit each other, I don't know about that.
You shouldn't travel a lot. You'll get blood clots and die. You don't want to do that. It's unnecessary. Forget about the fake husband. Address your health.
So I'm not sure still what I'm going to do. But my health issues are not going to prevent me from,
So now she's saying, I don't know what I'm going to do. So what I'm thinking is, and tell me if you guys think this too, she's getting so discouraged at the fact that this is not moving at a warp speed for her. She's not gaining, the attention of a doctor who's just going to be like, oh, sure, I'll write you out a referral today. Let's do it. Maybe she's feeling a bit, as she likes to call it, defeated. And she feels like now she's like backstepping it. I don't know what I'm going to do. At first, it was like, I am determined. I'm going to take you guys through the program with me. I'm going to have this. I'm going to do this, blah, blah, blah. And here she is kind of backstepping it because she's just like, oh my God, Salo's over there. And if I'm gone too long, he's going to forget about me. And likely she was trying to reach out to him. He wasn't answering the phone for whatever reason. And her, she freaks out. She can't get in her car and stalk him like she did, Nader. So she's really in a place right now, right? Because she can't figure out where Salah's going and she can't track him. And then if she calls him and she can't get in touch with him, she starts to panic. So then she starts to backstep the surgery because now she's like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. I'm going to lose this guy. So now I got to hop back on a plane and head back to Kuwait. Like she's so right now frazzled. It just shows.
Going back to Kuwait. The only thing, if you look on the Kuwait work visa website, on the Kuwait
you're not on a work visa. You're on a visit visa. Why would you be on a work visa? You don't have a job there. And I think you have to get approved, don't you? I've never done a work visa thing. But I would imagine that it would have to go through your employer, and then it would have to be approved. That is a legit thing. I would imagine there's a whole process. So she has here valid passport with a minimum of 2 years prior of expiration. One completed current visa application form is issued by Kuwaiti Ministry. One passport size photo, HIV test, health certificate obtained from a local doctor certifying the patient is in good health and free of contagious disease. Lab test results for the following: hepatitis B, C, malaria, syphilis, and chest x-ray for tuberculosis. No criminal record obtained from no criminal record. This would be obtained from the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Well, I don't know if Canada's is called an FBI. Maybe it's called something different. Valid within 3 months of the issuance date of the permit. The no criminal record has to be certified first by the U.S. Department. Okay, she's putting U.S. stuff. She has to put the Canadian stuff, but okay, so it's whatever. And then legalized by the embassy. Yeah, see, she has the wrong information. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's similar. I don't know. I haven't even looked it up. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on a minute. Let me see. Ugh. Of course, my mouse starts freezing up on me. Hold on, guys. Okay, guys. This is the Kuwaiti Embassy in Canada. I know all the text is not showing up on the screen, but I'm going to read some of the stuff. So for a visa requirement, they shall need the original Canadian passport, that it's valid a minimum of 6 months, a visa application signed by the applicant, one passport photo, work visa issued from the Ministry of Interior, Immigration Department in Kuwait will be sent to the applicant from your employer in Kuwait prior to submitting your documents to the Embassy of the State of Kuwait in Ottawa. In the it is written in Arabic and has your name in English, date and issue of expiry. You require the original paperwork. We cannot process your visa without the original paper. The work visa will be sent to your employer. Do not send anything. So if you see a number 4, she would have to have an established job over there. So okay, let's use our imagination. Let's use our Chantal imagination. So let's say it couldn't come from Salah because he's not a citizen. So it would have to be a Kuwaiti citizen that owns a company that would be willing to do this for her. Okay. So, do we know if she knows anybody? I doubt it, but who knows? Possible. Now, number 5, the original health certificate stamped by the medical doctor certifying that the patient is in good health and free from any contagious disease. In addition, negative lab results, HIV, hepatitis B and C, syphilis. Any doctor in your province, as long as we have a photocopy of lab tests. It does not need to be notarized. Police clearance from RCMP only. The document has to be stamped by the Canadian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and then you send all the documents. Okay, so it's kind of similar to the U.S. All right, let's get back into it. I don't know, the part of, because I remember when I worked at this one company, we had a lot of people who came on work visas, though I never done one. But it definitely came from the employer side. So I don't know how she would overcome that little hiccup. Because if you can see on the one that she has listed here for the U.S. requirements, there's probably more. Because you see there's a number 7 at the bottom. She forgot to put the employer requirement, because obviously if you're going on a work visa, the employer portion would be involved in this checklist, but you see it's not there. So either she's purposefully omitting it from it. I don't know. I think she's trying to, maybe she thinks we're all dumb and we're going to see this and be like, oh, she'll have no problem. But even the doctor, the health certificate, I mean, like, she had to have been on like a different type of visa, not a work visa this last time. It's just like maybe, I don't know what different types of visas because I've never been overseas. But anyway, I would imagine with a work visa, it's a bit more stricter because you're probably able to do it for a longer duration of time. But what do I know?
Government website, you will see that when they ask for a medical, it's to check for contagious diseases like HIV.
Okay, so let's go back to this. So when it comes to the health requirement, it actually does not say that. It says the doctor is certifying that the patient is in good health and free from contagious disease such as HIV, hepatitis B. Okay. She has such selective reading. You have to be in good health and free from contagious disease, Chantal. And in addition to, my God, help me.
Things like that. Okay.
Which, just to remind you, I'm not hepatitis B positive. I am positive for the antigens, which means that I've had the vaccine in school. I've had it vaccinated against A and B.
Okay, it's not for tuberculosis. It's not for, they don't ask you how fat you are. Number one, Kuwait is one of the most obese countries in the world right now. Okay, so they don't ask you your weight. They don't ask you anything, your height. They don't ask you if you have diabetes.
Wait. Let me take this back.
The most obese country. They don't ask you how fat you are. Number one, Kuwait is one of the most...
Okay, so Chantal, you are so misinformed. So when a doctor certifies that you're of good health, that includes your weight. So you're not in good health. That's obvious. Any doctor is going to say that. I don't know why you keep living in this like delusional bubble. You're not of good health. Just because they didn't ask for your weight doesn't mean they don't have eyes and can see you. Okay? Like, I'm sure your passport photo is accurate in your facial size. Like, I can't imagine, like, when you submit the visa application that they're just like, oh, look at this skinny mini. Like, I don't think that they're doing that. Okay? And the doctor is not going to jeopardize his license and his reputation just so you can get a free pass to Kuwait. Maybe Kuwait doesn't straight out ask you for your weight, but if you're heavy, naturally you're not in good health. And we know you're not in good health. You have lung issues, you have asthma, you have sleep apnea, you have all this shit going on. Like, seriously? You have to take estrogen? Like, you don't even take your estrogen. Don't even get me started on that. This woman, I
most
swear.
obese countries in the world right now.
Yeah, but they're an obese country, but that's their citizens. Okay, you have to separate yourself. In Kuwait, you're not a citizen, just like Salah's not a citizen. Okay? You guys are just visiting. Okay? He's what, asylum, and you're visiting. They can boot you out whenever they want. Like, you're not a citizen. Yeah, it's the fattest country, but that's what their citizens. They're not counting in the expats in the numbers. Okay? So they can totally like take you and be like, okay, you need to leave. I 100% believe that. I don't believe that they have to just approve your visa. I'm sure they could say deny your visa because of the health issues. Just because Kuwait didn't ask you for your weight is irrelevant.
Okay, so they don't ask you your weight. They don't ask you anything. Your height. They don't ask you if you have diabetes.
However, when the doctor certifies your health, considering you have type 2 diabetes and where your A1C is and other blood markers are, again, the doctor isn't going to be stupid and risk his license and his reputation by lying. That means you're not in good health, Chantal. You got to wake up. Stop making excuses. Stop blaming everybody else. You're not of good health. No doctor is going to give you a pass on that. It is so obvious.
The worst comes to worst, they tell you to pay for your health care. Okay, fine. You know, it's not like...
That's not how it works, Chantal. Kuwait isn't going to turn around and say, well, just pay for your health care. No, they don't want you there. They don't want you utilizing their resources. You're a waste. You're not a citizen. You're not entitled to their health care.
they're going to go, you can't come in this country. They might be able to deny you public health care, which I've never heard of. Touch wood, but...
Chantal, any country, if they want to, can deny you entry into their country simply on your health. I mean, I don't know why you don't get it. You are a burden to Kuwait. I mean, you're a total burden on Canada, but that's, a cluster F in itself. You were born there, it's your country, whatever. That's their problem. But if I was the person running that country, yes, you are. You're draining our resources. Goodbye. Go back to your country. Sorry. I don't feel bad. Why are you here? Why are you trying to use our resources? Why would you come here in the condition you're in? Risking your life. You're so worried about this damn surgery and dying, but yet you risk your life going all the way to oh my God, I'm saying Kuwait and Canada in the same word. You go all the way to Kuwait, risking your health and your life, because you could get blood clots on the airplane and have a heart attack and die. I mean, it's happened, right? It's very dangerous for morbidly obese people to fly like that. That's a long time to be sitting down. But you're worried about having surgery. Like, I think you have your priorities in the wrong place. I really do.
I would say worst case scenario, they just ask you to get a private healthcare plan, at which point, again, you don't know if I even have one. I could have one.
Chantal, you can't afford it. And frankly, considering you're on a visa, they don't even have to give it to you. They could say, well, you have free healthcare in Canada. Go back. Get your health in order and then come back. Why do you think that Kuwait has to take you on as a burden? Why? They don't have to do anything. You're not a citizen of that country.
So your theory would be thrown right out the window, hint, hint. But there are companies, I can assure you 100%, that take on cases like mine. So
nobody is debating whether there's a healthcare company out there that's willing to take all your money just to cover you for whatever. But again, You're on a visa. You're not a citizen. So whether that insurance is there or not is irrelevant. What does matter is if the country is willing to take on this type of a liability, considering you're on a visa, it's not that you're a citizen. So they're not obligated. So why would any country be stupid enough to do that? That would be stupid. You are Canada's liability. Go back to Canada.
So, just like I've known people who have been on their near their deathbed and called for, got life insurance.
Well, yeah. Do you know how much they pay premium? Yeah, get educated on insurance, Chantal. You obviously don't know much.
So it just depends on the company. Depends on a lot of things. All right. So that's all I wanted to address. Anything you hear, out of
She's gonna
the
school.
horse's ass
She's gonna school
is
us
not
down.
probably not true.
So you hear out of the horse's ass. Is she pointing to a particular reactor? I wonder.
I would say like not true at all, actually. There's nothing happening with our relationship. We're still very happily married, and I miss him so bad.
I don't think she misses Salah so much. I think she misses being able to control everything, like being there and being able to track him. And, like when you're further away, it's harder to pin somebody down. Like if you've ever been away from your spouse in a different part of the country or in another country or whatever, time zone changes, schedules, stuff like that, out of sight, out of mind. You know what I mean? It's harder to track somebody down. She's probably having a hell of a time getting Salah to remain on the phone 24/7. Like it's probably like torture to her because she is that type of person, like a leech. She just puts her tentacles all over you. She just doesn't let you breathe. You gotta answer every one of my calls. God, there's no way you could have been busy and missed my call. And how dare you not call me every 15 minutes? Like I could just see her totally blowing up his phone. I mean, could you even imagine? That would be a nightmare. I would just like mute my phone or turn it off because that would be so utterly annoying. Constantly, constantly doing that.
But we like chat the whole day, video chat almost the whole day when I'm not doing things like this. Working. Updating you guys. I miss you guys. I have to do a.
I don't know why that guy would be talking to you on video chat all day. Whether I believe it or not, I don't know. But if my man was video chatting me all day, there would be bigger issues I'd be concerned about. Like, why don't you have a job? Why aren't you doing something productive? Like, there would be so many questions coming into my head. Like, when your husband's working all day, you're probably not hearing from him because he's busy. He has to concentrate on his work. Like, why are you disturbing him? Let him be productive. Like, I never call my husband when he's working. Never. He has an important job, and I am not going to disrupt his day over stupid shit. Why would you be calling your husband or your boyfriend like constantly one after? I mean, we saw what she did when she was calling Nader. Remember that time on the video? She kept dialing him and dialing him and dialing him and dialing him. I mean, she is psycho level stalker. Like this, I would be like moving out of the state or the country or just getting away from a person like this. This shit would freak me out. Like a woman being this obsessed.
Live stream because I really miss you guys and you have to experience this calmness with me. Anyway, I guess that's it. I don't have much else to say about the situation. I just wanted to correct that because it's not true.
Okay, so the misinformation so far that she's given us is that basically it's whether she was kicked out of Kuwait or not. That's what it came down to. This whole video, it wasn't even like the surgery stuff. I mean, yeah, she's kind of backpedaling on that now, saying like I don't know what I'm gonna do. but it looks like the misinformation is about their relationship, her return to Kuwait. Um, she definitely omitted some stuff on the visa site which was not accurate.
Like I said, people just are salivating at the idea that I would be kicked out or something tremendous like that would happen to me. Okay.
No one is salivating. Oh, maybe some people are. I don't know, but I'm not. I'm not salivating at whether you've been kicked out or not. That's actually sad to me to think that you're so in such bad shape that you would be kicked out of a country. Um, it's you're a train wreck, Chantal. If you could just be truthful, be honest with yourself, be real. The reality is that you shouldn't go back to Kuwait anytime soon. The reality is that this man that you're apparently married to is just simply a contractual relationship that probably came to an end. The reality is that you're morbidly obese, in complete denial, and you think that everything is going to happen quickly when it's not. It's a process. You're not patient or willing enough to go through that process, unfortunately. These are the realities. You're not in good health. I don't know why you keep thinking that some doctor is going to just sign off on you getting a visa, and then you omitted the whole part of if you have a work visa that you have to actually have an employer who's willing to sponsor you in that country and bring you over. Which, if I was an employer, I wouldn't sponsor you just on the sheer fact of your obesity and the health risk and liability that you are. I mean, imagine this: you own a company and you have endless possibilities of people that you can bring to work for your company. And then you're going to take on this type of risk. I mean, what kind of a liability is that to your company as well? I mean, would you hire someone morbidly obese with the risk of knowing that there is a risk that this person is going to not only cause you 1,000 headaches in one, that they possibly could turn around and sue you because you did not appreciate their obesity, or could end up hurting themselves on the job? Are you willing as an employer to take on that liability? I certainly would not. I never would. Never as a company owner would I ever take on that type of a liability. And what I find hilarious is that this employer, whoever this is, has their choice of anybody that they'd want to bring over to work for their company. Why would they choose Chantal? I mean, I would love to know like who the company is sponsoring her that's going to do the work visa, because a work visa has to be sponsored by an employer in that country. It's definitely not Salah because he's not a citizen. So who is it, Chantal?
Okay, and I don't know, you're not going to get a big payoff, even if it did, because, oh well, I'll adapt. You know, if I have to live here, I'll adapt. I don't know, like, why, you think these things would happen to me. Like, I don't know. And why you would get joy out of it happening. If you really don't like someone, you need to remove yourself from.
Okay, so here's a reality, Chantal. Many of us, many of us, enjoy you far greater in Canada. You seem like you're much more happier. You're more yourself. You don't got this fake love going on, which was the most bizarre thing to watch, right? Like, I would watch them too with their affection, and oh my God, it was so awkward. Like, look, I watch some Muslim couples in, overseas, and I watch their vlogs and enjoy them. You can feel the chemistry between them. With Chantal and Salah, you feel nothing. It feels totally like stage act fake. I mean, it's weird.
Their existence, just do something else with your life. But whatever, the negativity, I'm just trying not to be negative, but I wanted to address that rumor because it's annoying having people come up to me and be like, or in the comments or whatever and be like, well, is it true you're kicked out of Kuwait because of your health problems? I'm gonna go for now, but I just wanted to talk about that because
maybe you're finding it annoying because that is the truth. Maybe this gets under your skin. Because if it really didn't bother you, why would you address it? If it's simply a lie, why bother?
It's annoying, like I said, and yeah, I hope you I hope you somewhat understood what I was talking about because, I talk fast and I switch topics a lot. I've always been like that. All right, guys.
Okay, I'm going to end this here. Let me know your thoughts below. Interested to see what you guys got to say about the visa situation. Maybe you guys know a lot more than I do when it comes to Canada and visas and Kuwait and whatever. Do you think that she is health worthy of getting a visa and going to a country? And do you have any speculation on who this employer might be that would be willing to back a morbidly obese person? Is there a doctor that you know who would be willing to jeopardize their license and their qualifications and their reputation and everything to give this woman a visa, sign off on a visa? So I'd be interested to see what you guys think. I really appreciate that you're here. I look forward to the next time, and I hope that you have a lovely evening.